welcome back to the channel. I'm all reset in the studio here for another set build, and in today's video we're going to be taking this green paper backdrop and building this room out into this set. For our most recent helicopter series, heading north, where we head north into Canada to camp for a week. Huge thanks to Milanote for sponsoring a portion of today's video. I'm going to show you guys how I built out an entire mood board using Milanote for this set, but first let's get this backdrop up. We're going to take this paper backdrop and make it into an epic set using some stuff that I have around the house, a couple of Christmas decorations, and a couple of things I've been wanting to use for a really long time. Well, after about an hour, I got it down. I should have put another pole in, but I don't really have quite enough space, and having two people would be helpful. All right, now I've got the backdrop set up, I'm gonna set up the camera, the main angle, and then I'm gonna start building out the set through the camera because we're shooting CinemaScope, so it's like super long and skinny. A7 IV 24-70 ProMaster tripod that I've got in the studio, Joby GorillaPod head. Yeah, I'm gonna set up my seat first, and then I'm going to start putting things in. So once we get the person in the frame framed up, then we'll start building up the rest of it. All right, let me show you guys where I'm going with this set build. So we've got the green paper backdrop, So we got the green paper backdrop, Try to say pink grip. We got the green paper backdrop set up now, and I'm gonna show you guys kind of the thought process behind this set build. I had a really good and clear idea of what I wanted going into this, so I, of course, took to my favorite app, Milanote, to put together those ideas to give me kind of a guide to work through this set build. So Milanote is an app that allows you to organize all of your ideas and projects in a really visual way. Boards, columns, text, images, GIFs, videos to bring your projects to life, whether it's video projects, branding, graphic design, photography. It's the backbone of my business. And I even use it for planning videos with brands, so I can send those brands my Milanote boards, they can approve my ideas, and we can move forward with production. But we're not talking about that right now. Today I'm gonna show you guys how I use Milanote to make a mood board for projects like this. So the first thing I do is open up Milanote and use one of their pre-existing mood board templates. This gives me a really good starting point to start adding my images and color schemes. So my idea here was to basically do a minimalistic forest with a green paper backdrop. I wanted to use these birch logs that I picked up that are just like Christmas decorations. I want to hang those from the ceiling and kind of create some depth with those. So I'll gather a bunch of different photos and color schemes of things that I like that fit the vibe I'm going for. Now I use the Milanote Clipper for this. I really love that because I'm sourcing images from all over the web. So Milanote Clipper allows me to just clip that directly into the mood board without having to save a bunch of screenshots and images to my actual desktop. This specific mood board, I've got kind of a greeny blue, light blue, green, which is where that paper backdrop comes in, tan, and all of those colors are going to end up being in both the set and in the clothing that Chris and I will be wearing during the series. It's important when you're coming up with a brand or a look for your videos that you actually include those color schemes and textures in your sets, in your outfits, and in the things that are in the background of your video. Because if those colors aren't in your wardrobe and they're not in the natural scene that you're shooting in, then your branded colors are not going to show up anywhere in your video. That's something that we like to do. So here you can see in my Milanote board, I'm able to include images, color schemes, text, animated GIFs, and videos. You can kind of see what I'm going for with this kind of camp, moody vibes meets like a storefront window display. There's also another little hack when I'm doing mood boards, sometimes for room makeovers, where I'm putting together furniture and I want to see what those things look like. I'll actually bring those white background images into Photoshop. I'll use the subject select to delete the background. I'll save that as a transparent background PNG, and then I'll drag that right into Milanote and it holds the transparency. And I can start to visualize how a room or a set is going to look without splurging on the furniture and buying the wrong thing. So if you process information better when it's set up in like visuals and images and icons versus like a wall of text, then Milanote is definitely for you. You should give it a shot for free. Check the link in my description box, and thank you Milanote for sponsoring today's video. And with that said, you guys know where we're kind of going with this, so let's go back over to the other side of the studio and get this put together. If you've been around a long time, you might recognize this bench. This is our Nelson bench knockoff. Chris and I built it, and the plans to build it are on our website, backingchris.com. I'll link it in the description box. I want to keep the bench further out because I'm going to hang a bunch of logs here from the ceiling. So I want there to be depth, but also we're kind of working with a fixed width. So we have to be strategic about getting the camera back super far and then zooming in a little bit so we crop out the sides but still get us in the shot. I might have to get into the 70 to 200 for this one. I've got a certain sir that has joined me. Well, this is really blown out. The bench didn't work. It was like too low, too awkward, wasn't in the shot, was weird. So in true camp fashion, we got our camp chair, and that works pretty well. Don't go to sleep.
I could go to sleep right now.
I'll help you get your logs down.
Thank you. Let's go. These are actually like Christmas decor, like birch poles. You see them a lot in like modern Christmas decor, right? But I was thinking, since I was gonna use these anyway for Christmas decor, why not use them in our set? So I have 6 of these birch logs. I'm gonna go 2 on one side, 3 on the other. I don't wanna go 3 and 3, and we're gonna change the depth of them. But what I'm gonna do is screw eye hooks into the end. So we're using these cup hooks that we had in the garage, and we're just hand screwing them.
Hooks?
That's what they're called, cup hooks.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, so this is the size of them. They are 1 inch. And we're just screwing these into the top of the logs, and then I'm gonna wrap a piece of rope around. Oh!
Watch out.
I'm gonna put some rope on them right here, and we'll adjust the height so that they're kind of sitting on the floor perfect. How many of these are done?
All of them. This is the last one.
Wow! Oh gosh, things go so much quicker when you're here. And I'm gonna use squeeze clamps to mount them to the ceiling, but I'm just gonna rest them on the floor. So they're just gonna be like kind of dangling from the ceiling. So once we have those birch poles attached to the ceiling, we use these Manfrotto Auto poles to rig up one of our hammocks just to add a little bit of depth because it was feeling a little bit flat. But once we had that hammock rigged up, we used our wool blanket to just add a bit of texture. Getting there, we need to change the light because the light is showing all these ripples in the background. But we strung up this hammock, we threw a blanket here, we have a bear canister, I just put a little like wood bowl on top to cover up the red sticker. And then we got our stump over here with our lantern. So I think it's kind of coming together. That ceiling light that we had on the go was just spilling a little bit too much light around, so we put a grid on that, and that just focused that light down.
More of like a moody thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Like we're in the woods.
I've had this lantern for maybe 5 years. Look, that's the mic thing. So I've been dying to use this in a set, so it's actually the perfect time to do that because this matches exactly what we're doing here. What I'm gonna do is take this Lume Cube light panel and I'm going to just set it to like a warm color temperature. And then I'm gonna tape it to the back of the lantern so that it looks like it has a glow.
Oh.
Yeah, and then this blue isn't quite right, but I'm going to just like select in curves in Lumetri, this blue, and then I'm just going to
Secondary color
change it to match the branding. I'm excited about this. This is gonna be like a full camp scene. Even though like the actual reality of the series, we weren't camping in the woods, we were camping on islands. This is supposed to be like woods, like a fake woods.
It's okay, it's a wilderness.
I just love making these sets. It's like Law of Diminishing Returns. I hope you guys love them too. Okay, so I think we're gonna put a light here, but I can't put the light here because the camera is all the way back there, it'll block it. In this situation, I'm gonna have to boom this light. I'm gonna use this Amaran 200D. We've got a variety. This whole studio has like every single different light. We're not really like picky about the brand. So we're gonna use this light because it's lighter for the boom arm, so we don't have to put a lot of weight on it. Counterweights. I'm thirsty. This is the same light we used in the helicopter series last year. This one is the Amaran 200D. This is Aputure's kind of like more budget light. It's daylight balance, it's not color temperature adjustable, but it's really light, so it's really good for putting on a boom because it's not super heavy. We don't have to like, we have to counterweight it, but we don't have to like, you know. I'm going to rob Aputure Light Dome Mini from the podcast set. That sucks, that's so harsh. Let's grab the grid for this. The question is, where on the gear shelf would it be?
So we found the grid. The grid, which maintains the softness of the light, but directs the beam more. Kind of just flags off any spill, so it's more directional, but yet still soft.
All right.
Now, you want to flick it on?
Yes.
Let there be light. Wah, wah.
Here, 3, 2, 1.
Didn't I put a bunch of plugs in the ceiling for this reason?
I told you I had this.
Did you have it plugged into itself? You had the extended cord plugged into itself. I've achieved infinite power.
This happened a couple of weeks ago when I accidentally plugged the headphone into the, or the mics into the headphone jack. Yes, this is my microphone. Let there be light! Let there be light!
Okay, now we're gonna turn this one off.
Oh God, oh God.
Uh-oh.
One.
Oh yeah. It's nice. Flattering.
Wow.
Wow.
So that's kind of what I was going for, this like dark, moody, mysterious camp vibes. We're pretty much finished here. We've got everything rigged up. We've got all of our birch poles attached to the ceiling. We've We've got our little fake lantern over here using that Lume Cube light panel. We've got a little hair light up here. That's the Aperture Amaran P60C, the softbox and a grid on it. We've got this hammock kind of put on these Manfrotto poles. We've got our blanket, some of our accessories, our big green paper backdrop, and then we've got our boomed light here. In front of me is the key light with a grid on it, and then above here we've got a little microphone. So this is how it turned out in the film. We shot this CinemaScope, so it's super long and skinny. Let us know what you think. Final shot ended up being on the A7 IV with the 70-200 at about 100 millimeters, I believe. Yeah, I think it worked out well. I think it looks exactly like the mood board that I made in Milanote, and kind of exactly like my sketch. So I'm really excited that this turned out the way it did, and this actually ended up being one of our least cumbersome sets. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, yeah, let me know in the comments. And if you haven't watched our helicopter series yet, you can find it up here. Thanks again to Milanote for sponsoring a portion of today's video, and thank you for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing if you aren't already, and we'll catch you on the next one. All
Is that my shirt?
Oh, how dare you? This is my shirt.
Are you lying?
No, I bought this at Uniqlo when we went to Toronto for my birthday. Is it your shirt? If it was your shirt, it'd be like this. Okay, let me show you where we're going with this. So, that's loud.